probably a cliche to say that it's hard to stand up here, but it's hard to stand up here. Dovid was a man that exuded love. He loved people. He loved HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He loved Eretz Yisrael. He loved Eretz Yisrael. He wanted to be in Eretz Yisrael. But I know that this isn't how he wanted to come to Eretz Yisrael. He's coming to Eretz Yisrael as we read the Parsha of the Jews arguing about Eretz Yisrael. The spies, the Meraglim, trying to talk to people out of Eretz Yisrael. And Yehoshua and Kalev arguing for Eretz Yisrael. And there's no question that Dovid was always arguing for Eretz Yisrael, loving Eretz Yisrael. There's no question in my mind that he's on some level a kapara for the Jews not wanting Eretz Yisrael enough, because he wanted Eretz Yisrael. And famous question that is asked about the Meraglim, about the spies: what was the problem? They were told to report back, and they reported back. And they reported back accurately. So what was the sin? And the Ramban, other Meforshim say that there was one word that was contained within it the entire impropriety. Efes ki az ha'am. The Meraglim came back, and besides reporting accurately what they saw, they made an editorial comment. Efes, it's impossible. Impossible. And I think, knowing Dovid the little bit that I did, and I'm sure the people who knew him better will validate, that to Dovid there was no such thing as Efes. There's no such thing as impossible. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to do it. We can do it. It's hard, but it's not impossible. And he did things that other people thought were impossible, that on them they said Efes, whether it was his own personal accomplishments or it was communal things, whether it was Klal Yisrael ideas and improvements. He had an impact in a way that other people would have looked from the side and said it's impossible. He did things that on the surface should have been Efes, should have been impossible. He exuded love. He loved his family. He always wanted to do for them, to make it better for them. He loved HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He radiated, he broadcast a love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If Kiddush Hashem is defined as She'ehei Shem Shamayim Yis'ahiv Al Yadcha, that the name of God should be beloved on other people because of you, he was always attempting to make that happen. He had a love for every Jew, and everything he did was motivated by a love for Jews, by a love for people, by a love for the Jewish people. And of course, the love of Eretz Yisrael. He loved Eretz Yisrael. The contrast between the Meraglim, the spies, and Yehoshua and Kalev, they were Motzi Dibas Haaretz. They said bad things about Eretz Yisrael. And Dovid always could only say good things, whether it was about other people, whether it was about Eretz Yisrael. And the Kalev and Yehoshua, They said that if HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants it to happen, it can happen. Im chafetz banu Hashem v'hevio sanu el haaretz azos. If God wants it to happen, it will happen. He's telling us to do it. We will make it happen. David wanted so many things to happen. He made things happen, and he wanted more things to happen. He leaves behind him a legacy of accomplishments, a transformed community that he had an impact on, a transformed family that he had an impact on, and yet he left behind so many other things that he wanted to do that haven't been done. And it's our responsibility to learn from him, to learn from his love, to learn from his devotion, to learn from his ability to overcome every obstacle, and try to help finish the unfinished things that he didn't get to. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has deprived us of a treasure. He has taken away a treasure from us. And when that happens, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us is that it's our responsibility to supplement, to provide the things that are now missing, to finish the work of this dear, beloved, righteous Jew who has left us. We say to his Eishes Chayil, his partner, Valerie, you should be strong. It's a difficult time for everybody. To the children, you'll find out things probably during the Shiva about your father that you didn't even know. It's a time to appreciate. It's a time to rededicate yourselves to continuing his wonderful legacy. And all of us are humbled, and we are bound to learn from him and to try to continue the things that he wasn't able to conclude, to complete. That we should meet up in Techias HaMesim, and that he should be a Melitz Yosher, that he should be up there arguing with HaKadosh Baruch Hu the way he infected us. Infect HaKadosh Baruch Hu with a greater love to help to fix all the problems that we have, and we have lots of problems. And I'm sure he's up there trying to bring some kind of a rectification, some kind of a perfection that should trickle down back to us, and that his memory should be blessed. Yehi Zichro Baruch.